Welcome everyone to RPG Frequencies. This is Gwydion, and today I'm going to walk through kind of an entry or a prelude for a game called Just Roll With It. And I'm not sure what to call this. Actually, it's a choose your own adventure RPG, but it's also a journal, as I understand it, that helps you with how to create daily routines. And it's created by some folks who have a background in behavior science. So it looks really interesting. I actually discovered this from a friend of mine, Mr. Mean, who is also a YouTube content creator. And if I can, I'll drop a card to him. But if you don't see the card, please check out his channel. He did a quick preview on this game. I think it was about a month ago or maybe a few weeks ago. So I'd encourage you to check this out. And Ariel, one of the co-founders of the Paradox port. If I scrolled it, well, I'll find it. See if I can click on the link here. So Ariel Lavari, he reached out to me after I purchased the game, so I'm not getting anything, but after I purchased the game, he reached out to check in and said he appreciated some of the folks that are adopting this early. So this will come to Kickstarter. I'm not sure quite when, but right now you can buy the demo, which is about 260 pages. So I think it's a demo, but it is available on Paradox Port for $12. So I'll flip through this for a bit, and I'm only going to go through the prelude because haven't really read through it, and I don't want to spoil too much. So you'll be going through this with me in real time. So we'll see how that goes. But thought it'd be fun to go through the kind of the first 3 days of the game. So let's just scroll through here a bit. So it does describe itself as more than a journal. It's a choose your own adventure RPG that transforms your personal goals into quests and challenges. By mixing role playing mechanics with behavior change science, this journal helps you build habits, achieve goals, and become the hero of your own story. So you can kind of see here, you're exploring realms, you're tracking your progress, you're journaling, and it does say that they will be they will be joining Kickstarter shortly. So if you click that link, you can sign up and be notified when it launches. So let's see. Let's jump in, I think, with that to the PDF. So I'm going to do this and I will turn off the main screen. There we go. Now, a couple of disclaimers. One, there were no bookmarks when I first opened this. I created these bookmarks because I wanted to be able to kind of quickly during the video if I needed to jump to different sections. So that's what these are for. But this is the cover, which is, I think, pretty cool. Choose your own adventure, complete quest, become a legend. Now, there is one thing I'll get out of the way right away because I know some of you, this could be a killer. And that is, it does say the illustrations are by Ariel Lavari and Ladina Brunner. I know she's a graphic designer. She's listed on their site, but it does say with the help of Midjourney. Look, I know there's a lot of polarizing opinions on AI. I definitely encourage folks to support their artists. The image you actually see on my screen right now with the bird and the knight, I purchased directly from an artist that does Doom Pilgrim, and so I definitely support artists, but I do understand there's a place, at least in my mind, there is a place potentially for AI, and I'm not a huge proponent, but it's not a complete killer for me. So enough about that. Let's move forward and get into the beginning to the table of contents. This will probably, I'm expecting, would be hyperlinked. Actually, it looks like this is. It looks like the language isn't, but it looks like the pages are, which is nice. I did not notice that before. So let's just kind of flip down. So I'm going to read, and bear with me as I read through this with you. And yeah, let's just jump into it. Listen carefully. Do you hear that? It's the whisper of adventure beckoning you closer. By opening this book, you've set in motion a series of events that could redefine your life, should you welcome the magic within. Reading this book will transport you into a mystical realm, brimming with mystery, magic, and adventure. You will embark on an epic journey to restore balance to the realm and, along the way, become the person that was always within sight but just out of reach, the hero of your own story. This book contains a potent mixture of alchemical ingredients, science, adventure, and magic. You'll learn powerful techniques from behavioral and psychological science, called spells, and cast them on yourself and the creatures of the realm. Through this process, you'll leverage the magic of science to work towards your greatest goals in life, all while freeing the realm from a great evil. That is all I can say for now. If you want to understand exactly what this entails, you must begin. Are you ready? If so, state the following spell and begin the adventure of your lifetime. Oh boy. Essentia vitae floret, lux et tenebra, concordant ego sum totus. Welcome, my friend, to the next chapter of your adventure. All right, so we're going to do the prelude. And again, as you can see up here, it looks like it's 3 days. We'll see how long this takes. If it takes too long, I might cut it. But my intention is to go through the entire prelude of 3 days. Okay, welcome to your first 3 days of this adventure. Throughout these days, you'll learn everything you need. Oh, never mind. Throughout these days, you'll learn everything you need to about progressing through this mystical realm. It's broken into 3 days, so you don't have to absorb too much information at once. However, you can choose to progress at your own pace. Once you finish, you're off to the races. So there are hyperlinks up here as well to different sections of this 260 plus page booklet. Day 1, who am I? You awake, taking a shuddering breath and sitting bolt upright. You look around you, blinking furiously to adjust your eyes to the stark brightness. You're not sure where you are or how you got here. You feel that you're forgetting something, with knowledge of what came before slipping away with each passing breath. You stand up and inspect your surroundings, noting that your body feels light, agile, strong, different. You appear to be standing at the center of a circular shrine with 4 stone daises encircling your position. You feel this is a place of great significance, but you're unsure why. You inspect the daises and notice an angular slot in each, but no other obvious information presents itself. You decide it's time to move on and begin finding your way through this world of unknowns. You see only one path leading from this place, stretching off into the distance, and decide to follow it. You walk and walk and walk some more, time ticking by as the sun promenades its way across the heavens. For some hours, you notice that dusk is drawing near, with mist floating around your body, wrapping you in a chill blanket. You shiver, longing for the warm embrace of hearth and stone. Your feet ache from long travel, and your stomach reminds you of meals forgone, strength waning with each beleaguered step. You smell smoke nearby, feeling its comforting promise as you take a deep breath. As you round the next bend, you see it, a tavern of sturdy wood and stone, its windows glowing like embers against the growing darkness. You see a post with a hanging sign, the Fern Frond Tavern, it reads. You make your way to the door and push it open. The quiet hum of conversation rushes to your ears, burbling like a fresh spring. Words dance between tables, mingling with the soft plucking of a lute. You smell fresh bread and ale and honest sweat. With great relief, you enter. As you walk to the bar, a man behind it calls out, "Welcome, adventurer." The barkeep is of medium build and willowy, with subtle crow's feet framing glowing green eyes. He wears an open smile, inviting you to his space, telling you that you have arrived. My name is Fern, your humble barkeep, purveyor of fine drinks and finer stories. What brings you here, adventurer? You mumble something about wondering the exact same thing yourself. Well, you've come at an interesting time, to say the least. The winds whisper, the men mumble, the creatures cry out. Something is deeply amiss in this realm, Glimmerwood. Recently, a great, powerful magic was invoked, conjuring forth a mysterious, malevolent force. In this short time, this force has been spreading rapidly through our realm, poisoning the hearts and minds of all it touches. It calls itself the Darkness. You begin to ask what any of this has to do with you, but Fern cuts you off. Listen, I believe you are here for a reason. Your memory goes no further than the Shrine of Awakening, correct? You blink at him blankly. Now, the Shrine of Awakening, the ancient shrine, the source of Glimmerwood's power. Circular, 4 dioceses, remember? You nod your head in confirmation. Well, I believe that the same force that called you here also called the darkness. Therefore, I think you may have a role in defeating it. However, If you are to have any chance of defeating the darkness, you must have a calling, a purpose, something you're trying to breathe life into during your time in Glimmerwood. The darkness is trying to break the walls of the realm, and only those who are dedicated to growth, life, and flourishing will resist its pull. I know you may not remember exactly who you are, but if you look deep within, I bet you'll find something calling to you. Now, I ask you, who are you? What is your calling? So, out of character, I suppose, for a moment, it asks you to proceed to page 20 and select a character, then proceed to page 24 and fill out your character information, the top half of the page, choosing a name, noting down your class, and inscribing the details of your skill. Choose a single theme that you wish to focus on during the duration of your journey. It could be just one word like creativity, focus, or strength, something you are deeply called to build towards. Okay. So I am at day 1, page 2. Let me just see if I can do a quick bookmark. I'll add a new bookmark and say current, current, current entry. So I can come right back here. So, all right, let's go to page 20, which is, I think, the roster of heroes, probably. Yeah. All right, so what do we have to choose here? There are 7 playable characters. Each has a set of recommended callings, the most align who you want to become. Okay, so a fighter, strength, adventure, endurance, discipline, and their health, maybe. Paladin, leadership, consistency, faith, integrity, courage. This is probably what I'm going to go with. Druid, healing, nature, adaptability, sustainability, and compassion. Wizard, knowledge, focus, experimentation, wisdom, clarity. Bard, creativity, joy, performance, charisma, communication. Rogue, wealth, transition, entrepreneurship, innovation, negotiation. And monk, attention, balance, spirituality, simplicity, and meditation. I'm interested. I've always liked monks, but I've never really gotten to play much. But so it's what I most want to be. I'm going to try a monk just because. And my calling is going to be balance because I feel like, and this is just a bit of insight into me personally, sometimes my work-life balance is not great. I have throughout my career have spent way too much time at work, focusing on work, really trying to balance and spend more time with the family. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a monk and focus on balance. So let's go to page 24. And I don't have very much creativity with the name. I'm just going to say Samuel. And my calling, oh, sorry, I hit tab accidentally. Go back. So my calling is going to be balance. And I'm just going to remind myself work, life, but balance in life is what I'm looking for. And it's going to be a monk. Monk. So let's look at, I wonder if that is a, okay, skill. Let's go back and the roster of heroes. Oh, you do have a skill here. There's traits and skill, so I have. So let's go back and look at the monk. And so there's my monk. I'm going to bookmark that in case I need it. I probably don't, but let's just say monk class. So that way I can come back to it. And I did balance, so 38 hit points. And let me see if I can sharpened introspection. So I'm going to copy that and maybe, oh, there, I can copy the whole thing, I think. Let's just do this, see if that'll work. Not bad. So let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. It'll help remind me. I don't know if I can bold that. I cannot, that's okay. Performing a reflection routine grants you an additional 1 XP. Okay. And I think for now, that is it. So let's go back to current entry. And I did the calling. It says single theme. And okay, yeah, it is. So my calling is balance. And there we go. Back at it. Indeed, it is you, our answer to the darkness. You have so much latent power and a noble calling, benefiting a great hero like yourself. But might I inquire about your current resolve level? You blink in puzzlement. Your resolve, critter. It's a critical attribute that will allow you to tackle the most powerful of foes. I see now that it's very low, and as low as it can get, in fact. Well, we can change that easily enough. You increase your resolve by performing actions related to your calling, pursuing your calling. This could be any activity related to your calling, practicing an instrument for a creative calling, writing a business plan for an entrepreneurial calling, etc. It's up to you to decide what kind of actions count. They can be humble or grand. Your resolve starts at 0, but each day you pursue your calling, you increase your resolve by +1. I'm going to, each day, I'm just going to kind of highlight that to help me remember. Each day you pursue your calling, you increase your resolve by +1. Each day you don't, your resolve decreases by 1. Okay? So there's kind of a push and pull, or a benefit and a carrot and a stick, I suppose. Your resolve can have a max value of +3, after which it doesn't increase anymore. Okay? Max value of +3. Resolve is an important metric that will influence the outcome of various encounters with denizens of Glimmerwood. We will cover exactly how it works at a later point. It's beginning to appear like there will be many things to keep track of if you are to have a chance of defeating the darkness. Here, take this journal, the Just Roll With It journal, as I like to call it. It contains many sections, some magical, others mundane, but let us focus on the daily tracker section for now. If you turn to the first page of the daily tracker section, you'll notice a small circle at the bottom left titled Calling, with the Resolve subheading under it. Let's check that out now. So it says, turn to the first page of the daily tracker section. If you pursue your calling in any way today, increment your resolve by +1, circling the following number, in this case, 2. All right, so let's go to the daily tracker. I don't see it up here in my links, but I have it over here. So if you pursue your calling, increment your resolve by +1, circling the following number, in this case, 2. So here's daily tracker. And okay, there's your resolve. So it says circling the number 2. So I guess I could start this, and maybe just for now, I could put, darn it, my tab. So 3, 9, I just need to click on it, 25. And I'm not sure exactly how to do this. Let's go back to, where was I? Oh, so I'm going to go back to current entry, set destination. Okay. I've done all this, done this. So I don't know. I guess that means if I literally today do something to work on my balance, and for now it says circling the following number, in this case 2. I don't know if I should do. I mean, one of the things I am going to do is play a game with my wife today. So I'm going to count that as something that works on balance. I do have a work video to do today. So I think I will, both this of kind of balancing and playing video games and doing this, to me is something that's a passion of mine and helps me keep my balance. So I think I can definitely say that I will do this today. So for this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and go to the daily tracker, and I will think what I'll do, because I'm not sure how else to do it, is let's highlight, see if it'll let me highlight 2. Okay. I'm just trying to keep this going for now. So let's go back to the current entry. Okay, so we've done that. Before I let you go, I want to cover one last topic. Resolve isn't the only thing you'll need. Oh, it says, you know what, I might tell Ariel, it says bottom left titled calling. I think that's bottom right. Maybe I'll let him know that, not a big deal, but that it should be, yeah, it should be the bottom right, I think. Okay. Before I let you go, I want to cover one last topic. Resolve isn't the only thing you'll need to track your journey. As you move through Glimmerwood, different actions or events might impact your experience points, your hit points, or your gold pieces, or your resolve. You'll need to track each of these on the pages in your daily tracker section. Experience points are tracked via the level tracker, the tick marks around the border of each daily tracker sheet. Each day, when you turn to a new page in the daily tracker, you'll pick up where you left off on the level tracker and increment it by any additional XP you receive. As you gain XP, you will level up, increasing your strength and gaining access to new potential. Levels are noted by the numbers around the level tracker on each page. You'll gain 1 level for every 30 XP. Leveling up will allow you to confront stronger foes in combat without risking imminent death. While confronting foes in Glimmerwood, you may take some damage, impacting the number of hit points you have remaining. Hit points are tracked via the hearts at the top of your daily tracker pages. Each heart corresponds to 1 HP. Each day you will subtract or add hearts based on the outcome of events. However, it's important to remember that you may never acquire more HP than your character's max HP, so make a note of that number and make sure you not to increment past it. Finally, you'll track any gold you receive at the top of each page, adding any earned gold to your total previous value. As you are just starting out, set your current XP to 1. Let's just do this here. I'm going to do all this. Current XP to 1, your HP to the value corresponding character sheet. I think it's 38, and your gold pieces to 0. So XP to 1, let's go. I'm going to set this again as the page I'm on. And then let's go back to my daily tracker. So I think it said gold pieces 0 and hit points. I think, I don't know where to. Let's go look down here. There's my calling in the bottom right. That's a 2. I don't see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4. 6 times 6 is 36. Let's do this. See if it'll let me do this. No. Yeah, I'll just have to remember this and see if I can do it. Well, let me do a text. Select text. Let's go to form. I'm just going to do a text box here just for myself, just so I can work on this with you. And we're going to say, I think it'll let me do that. I'm just going to put in here 38 so I don't forget. And I'll deal with this later. And maybe I'll even create more of a form fillable, but I'm going to do that just so I don't forget. 38 hit points. Okay. Go back to current date. All right. Should you gain any items, keep a running list. Okay, now it's time to rest and reflect on all you've learned. I know my accent for what it is coming in and out. I don't want to overburden you. Too much of a good thing and all that. You may rest in one of my rooms. I'll see you tomorrow. Glimmerwood awaits. You climb the staircase and find one of the guest rooms. A single glowing lantern illuminates the well-maintained, recently polished furniture. You undress, climb into the small bed, snuff out the lantern, and drift off to sleep. You may continue to the next section and end your day here. Okay. So I am going to day 2, I believe. Yep, day 2. Welcome to Glimmerwood. You wake up lying on a soft bed of moss. The small room from the night before has vanished. All around you stand majestic trees of pine, cedar, and fir, their boughs blotting out the sun above. You rise slowly, taking in the unfamiliar sights. Before you can take any exploratory steps, you hear something that stops you in your tracks. A quiet voice emanating within you. A familiar voice. Greetings, critter. Welcome to Glimmerwood. You look around, trying to locate Fern, whose crisp, distinguished voice seems to be coming from within your head. You call out to Fern, asking where he's hiding, exactly where he's hiding. I'm here, within you, a part of you, for I am far more than what I first appeared to be. I am one of the guardians of this realm. I see all that goes on and whisper guidance to those who dwell here. They are all my dear critters, and I am their guardian. You shake your head, trying to clear it and assess your situation. Listen closely, my critter, begins Fern. You're here in Glimmerwood. Your journey has already begun, and now the only way out is through. You must defeat the darkness or perish trying. So, are you going to listen to my words of advice? You nod in consent. Very well. You look within your journal, you'll find a map of Glimmerwood on page 25. You're currently standing at the top right corner of the map. Each day you will choose a new square to move to and mark it on your map. You may move vertically or horizontally, but not diagonally. Additionally, you'll notice a grid around the map's border, A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. This will allow you to track where you're going and uncover the mysteries hidden in each new location. Some of the grid squares have a brown solid border around them. Upon moving to one of these marked squares, you'll be prompted to flip to the back of the book. Find the page that corresponds to your location and encounter one of Glimmerwood's denizens. All the different encounters are listed in the back of the book in the encounters section and are sorted alphabetically then numerically. The various types of encounters you may find are as follows, and don't worry if you don't understand all the details yet, but they will be explained in due time. Trial encounter. Trial encounters involve using D&D style dice to determine the outcome events, and if you don't have dice, there are plenty of free apps. Trade encounters. Finding traders allow you to buy goods and supplies. They may offer potions or special equipment. Narrative encounters. Narrative encounters will reward you with spell scrolls. Each of these spell scrolls can be found at the back of the book, and after reading them, you can begin implementing them in your character's arcanum. Guardian encounters. Guardian encounters involve encounters with guardians that have been corrupted by the darkness. These are my brethren, my fellow protectors of the realm, and I pray you shall have the wisdom to release them from the darkness grasp. These are all the types of encounters you may find located on your map, indicated by solid brown outlines. However, don't think that just because a square doesn't have an outline means you'll have an uneventful day. Every time you land on a non-outlined square, roll a d20. Okay, so probably don't need to remember all this, but let's just do this. So every time roll a d20. If you roll a 7 or below, flip to the side quest part of the book. Okay. So basically kind of a random encounter of 7 or below on a d20. Completing the quest rewards you with various amounts of XP, GP, and items. Failing to complete it doesn't have any consequences. That's good. With that in mind, let's begin exploring. Now you've already been trolled in the swamp. You've already been to the Shrine of Awakening in the Fernful Tavern. So place 2 X's through those squares on your map. Today, let's move together to square B2. So let's X out the Awakening and Fernfrond Tavern. So let's go to, I'm going to put a current entry. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. That's okay. All right. So let's right click current entry and set destination. I think the daily tracker was 20. It's 26. So there's my map. So let's do this. And I'm going to add a bookmark. Add bookmark, new bookmark. And we're going to say Glimmerwood map. All right. And so we're going to do an X to the Shrine of Awakening and Fernford Tavern. I assume that's the top. Does it tell me? Go back one more time. Current entry. So through those squares on your, I think it's the top ones. So let's just go through that. See if I can do a text. I can highlight. You know, for now, I'm just going to highlight. See if it'll let me highlight. No. How about a rectangle for now? So I'm just going to use a rectangle there. And then I think this is the tavern. So I'm just, in the future, I'll find out how to, or actually that'll be, that's fine. Yeah, I like the rectangle. All right. So now we're going to go to B2. So we're going to go to this one. And there is a brown border. So we're going to go here. Wonder if it'll let me dial. Don't worry about all this. Let's just go to 2. So we'll go back to current entry. So, okay, so place 3 X's through A1, B1, and B2. That's kind of what I just did, I believe. A1, B1, and B2. So, yep, I got it. Perfect. Once you're done, continue here. I'm glad you met the ferryman. Ferryman? Wait a second. How did I meet the ferryman? I'm glad you met the ferryman, an inspirational but slightly odd figure in my opinion. He gave a spell scroll, did he not? You nod in agreement. Now I'm confused. That's, sorry. I went too quick. So I place the X's. Next, find B2 in the encounter section of the journal and read it. Once you're done, continue here. Let me find the encounter. Go to side quests and here's encounters. So I will add a bookmark here, but let's just do this. So they do already have a hyperlink for that, but let us not set destination, new bookmark, and we'll say encounters just in case I forget. So that'll be here, but again, you've got this here that you can click on. So I look for B2. So in this case, A4, A7, A10, A13, A13. Okay, B2. So I'm gonna add a little note here. New bookmark, B2, the ferryman of fate. Okay. That's okay. There we go. All right. The start of your adventure is here, and while you're still a little disoriented, you feel the winds of destiny at your back, lifting your spirits. You begin walking, picking up speed down a sloping, grassy hill. At the base of the hill, you see a river flowing hungrily with white, frothing currents. You look around and see a man standing by a simple raft. Oh, adventurer, you look like you could use someone to ferry you across this river. You smile at the man and nod your head in assent. Well, hop on then, the man says ritually. As he paddles, the man begins. Adventurer, I know I'm prone to oversharing, so my partner always tells me. Or so my partner always tells me. But do you mind if I tell you my story? The rhythmic splashing of the paddle against the water creates a soothing, almost hypnotizing background to his words. I was once like you, an adventurer with my eyes set on lofty dreams, my head in the clouds or other unspecified vapors. I wandered far and wide seeking grand adventures and acclaim, testing my mind, my metal, and my other instruments. Oh, the stories I could tell, adventurer, the blushes and pallor they'd cause. You'd look like a vampire exposed to the rising sun. But I digress, as I usually do. It wasn't until I found myself by this river, offering a simple service to those in need, that I truly understood my place in the world. I realized that purpose isn't always found in grand gestures, heroic deeds, or ballad worthy feats, but in quiet moments and small acts of kindness. The ferryman's voice is calm and steady, each word resonating with simple truth. Every day, I help people across this river, guiding them on their journeys. It may seem insignificant, but to me, it's everything. I see the fear in their eyes and the hope in their hearts, and I know that my presence, assistance, small words of kindness and encouragement make a difference. This raft, this river, they are my destiny, my purpose. He pauses, looking out over the waters as if lost in thought. I have learned that purpose has very little to do with destination, but everything to do with the journey. It's about the people you meet, the lives you touch, and the impact you leave behind. And in doing this, I have found peace and fulfillment. You see, I know who I am and do this. Though my role may be small, I've helped thousands of people pursue their paths. I'm a part of their journey as they are a part of mine. As you near the bank, he begins fumbling in a leather satchel. Now here, take this scroll. It's the key to my tireless dedication. Within it lay the secrets of purpose, a subtle magic that will keep you afloat no matter what tides you face. It will help you find your why, and I can think of no greater gift than that. So I now have the scroll of purpose. So let's go back to my character sheet, monk class, roster of heroes. Trying to remember where I did that. Oh, there it is, character sheet. Why don't I have the character sheet? Thought I did. Make a bookmark. Character sheet. So do I put it under items for now? I'm going to mark it here, and then we can see scroll of purpose. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, but let's go back to date. Let's go back to the current entry. I'm glad you met the ferryman, an inspirational but slightly odd figure, in my opinion. He gave you a scroll, did he not? You nod in agreement. Well, I suppose it's time to teach you about spells. As you travel through Glimmerwood, you'll obtain numerous spell scrolls granting you access to powerful magics. You must learn to wield them, enhancing your calling and building an unwavering resolve lest the darkness lead you astray. Each spell is based on principles derived from scientific literature inscribed by the greatest scholars and magicians of our time. The narrative encounter will give you a high-level idea of how the principles work, but each spell scroll provides additional information on the principles and how to apply them. Now take a moment to read the spell you just received. Read the scroll of purpose in the spell scrolls section of the journal. So I think here's spell scrolls. So let's find the scroll of purpose. And I'm going to bookmark that. I hope I'm not spoiling too much. So, as always, if I am, please feel free to stop. So we'll say the scroll of purpose. Okay. Okay, this is pretty long, but let me read it. And yeah, let's keep going. Why are you on this journey, traveler? What is it you're hoping to become? The scroll of purpose is in your hands. Let us channel its power and begin to answer these questions. You chose something to focus on at the start of this journey, a calling. And for me, it's balance. We select various goals and objectives for many reasons, but one critical reason, how we think achieving them will make us feel. You chose your calling because you believe it will make you happy, satisfied, relaxed, courageous, or whatever feeling or quality it may be. It's true. Yet what really matters is not how you'll feel when you've achieved your goal, but how you'll feel when you achieve it, but how you feel along the way. You'll be far more motivated to stick to goals if the intermediate outcomes are ones you'll value, enjoy, and naturally seek. For example, you're more likely to form a running habit because you realize running makes you a more relaxed, sharper person rather than trying to impress people by running a marathon. Even if there aren't any obvious benefits initially, that small rush of success you get after following through on an intention can be a powerful motivator. Big part of your why for embarking on this journey is likely because it will make you feel better. Keep this in your mind and heart as you move forward. None of us are isolated creatures, but rather embedded in a web of relationships. This is important for a couple of reasons. First, we are far more likely to remain motivated if we feel a sense of belonging and support stemming from the communities we find ourselves in. Second, we can tap into additional levels of motivation and creativity if we act to support the well-being of others. Much personal development or self-improvement literature focuses too heavily on the central character, you. However, we often act not just to benefit ourselves, but also to benefit those who we are closest to. By taking the next logical step and reframe your quest, not only is something that will benefit you, but will benefit your partner, family, and community. For example, if I go to the gym, I will become more relaxed, making me a better partner and father. I'm doing this not just for myself, but for those I love. Finally, the last piece in the puzzle of purpose. The brain works in mysterious ways, and sometimes the best way to gain the motivation to become a new you is to act like you already have. Identity and social perceptions are potent tools, and we generally try to act in ways that are congruent with our self image. If you're trying to start a blog and become more consistent with your writing, you should think of yourself as a writer. Why do you run? Because I'm a runner. It's just part of me. Why do you paint? Because I'm an artist. I can't not. You might wonder, how can I think of myself as a runner if I'm not? You'd be surprised at how quickly self image can shift. James Clear notes, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. It doesn't take that many votes for your identity to shift. After all, with a few runs under your belt, aren't you technically a runner? As this identity begins to crystallize, it further reinforces itself. We fail to run, it will produce cognitive dissonance between our actions and our self perceptions, driving us to resume the behavior. Failing to run will also produce a discrepancy between how you currently feel, tired, stressed, etc., and how you'd like to feel, energized, relaxed, or however running makes you feel. It won't be long before you find yourself resuming the habit. So, the application. These are some powerful concepts within relatively simple applications. As you begin your process, start facing challenges or doubts, keep the following questions in mind. What is it you're searching for? Think about the feelings and states you're hoping to experience. How will finding it benefit those around you? You become more productive, empathetic, relaxed, and aware, whatever you're seeking. How will that help your friends, family, and community? By starting this journey, who are you in the process of becoming? You are many things already, so why not add one more? As you progress through this journey, begin creating specific goals and objectives to support your calling. Return to these questions periodically and reflect on how your actions have influenced how you feel, improved the lives of others, and supported you in forming a new identity. There's a ton of references. Interesting. Okay. Go back to current entry. All right. So we read the scroll of purpose. So let's keep reading. Spells are a key part of progressing through Glimmerwood and defeating the darkness. Each character has a unique arcanum, a path they must follow to master spells and apply them to their lives. This arcanum is arrayed like a constellation, with runes in place of stars, denoting each spell. You will use this constellation to track which spells you have learned and what steps you've taken to master them, marking each node as you progress. Turn to your character's arcanum and inspect all of the spells you must master along your journey. For example, if you're a fighter, turn to page 140. So let's go to our monk arcanum. Let me set this destination again. Go to monk arcanum. So spell of goal setting, spell of implementation intentions, spell of mindfulness, spell of purpose, which I think I've already learned, I believe. Okay. Go back to the current. All right. Pages directly following the Arcanum constellation map have space for you to complete each of the required activities. Some activities may involve summarizing the key principles within a spell, while others may ask you to apply the spell directly to your life in some way. The order of progression, the numbers by each step in the Arcanum, are a recommended order and can be followed as strictly or loosely as you deem necessary. However, completing your Arcanum is required before you can finish your journey. By completing your Arcanum, you will become a master of your class, e.g., Master Monk, Master Druid, etc. Only a master can face the darkness and hope to defeat it. However, before you can become a master of your class, you must first locate all required spell scrolls. The spell scrolls are obtained through narrative encounters and are demarcated on your map with a glowing rune. Each class has 4 to 5 spells that are required to learn in order to become a master, and you must locate each of them by traversing Glimmerwood. You're not required to find all of the spell scrolls and implement them in your Arcanum. For example, you just read the scroll of purpose, and this may or may not be one of the spells within your Arcanum. It is for me. If you encounter a spell that is not within your Arcanum, you may add it to your auxiliary spell book at the back of the Arcanum section and choose to do with it what you will. But be warned, trying to focus on too much often leads to failure. Choose spells widely, trust your Arcanum, and don't bite off more than you can chew. Before I leave for the day, we must discuss one last critical point. As I mentioned, the darkness has already corrupted my brothers and sisters, the fellow guardians of the realm. You must free all 4 of them, for within each of their possessions are magical items of immense power, soul shards. Should you expel the darkness from their hearts, they shall grant you these soul shards. With them in hand, you'll be able to return to the Shrine of Awakening and evoke a great spell of restoration, purging the darkness from this land. The guardians are hidden throughout the realm. One of your primary goals should be to locate them, liberate them from the darkness, and depart with their soul shard in hand. Here, take this pendant. Once you locate a soul shard, place it within this pendant, which you will keep on your character sheet. Now rest. It's been a long day, and you're almost ready to begin in earnest. Tomorrow I will return with some final critical information. Continue to the next section or end your day here. So I'm going to decide. Let's see how long the next one looks. Let's go to day 3, and I'm just going to kind of skip a little. Yeah, let's see. I might try to finish this. See what it says. Day 3. Let the trials begin. Good morning, Critter. I hope you slept well. And I mean that in all seriousness, as it will directly affect your progress through this realm. Each day, there are 5 optional routines that you can perform to increase your XP and HP. After all, adventuring isn't all glamour and dragon slaying. We have to take care of the mundane as well, from setting camp to cooking to resting. And these routines also prevent you from becoming a wandering vagabond whose best chance of defeating foes is your unkempt appearance and assaulting stench. But I digress. The routines are as follows. Reflect. Reflect on your journey by journaling, earning 1 XP. Use the provided pages in the journal section of this tome. Train. Engage in physical activities like walking, stretching, or lifting, earning 1 XP. Whether or not your character focuses on physical calling, this routine will help you thrive on the journey ahead. Set camp. Take care of your camp by setting up and maintaining your living space, earning 1 XP. This includes tasks like making your bed, cleaning your space, or organizing something long forgotten. Preparing meals, prepare nutritious meals, ensuring you have enough sustenance for your journey and earn 1 HP. Any cooking or meal preparation focused on healthy whole ingredients counts. Sleep, get enough rest by sleeping at least 8 hours to restore your energy and gain 1 HP. You will track completed routine using the routine wheel in the daily tracker with the book icon indicating reflecting, the sword icon indicating training, and the 10 icon indicating setting camp. The pot icon indicating preparing meals, and the moon icon indicating sleeping. So I'm assuming these are all real life, and maybe that's just such an obvious thing I shouldn't be asking. So I think these are things that they're saying in real life. If I do those each day and I start using this as a true journal, then I can earn XP for each of these. So I might tailor these a bit. Like for example, I literally never get 8 hours of sleep, and I don't think I will. But maybe I'll set that at 7 and say, hey, if I get 7, then that's good. But I know if I get 6 or less, then I'm probably not doing myself justice. My wife and I prepare home meals. We have something called Home Chef that we bring in, and they're actually pretty good, healthy ingredients. So I think if on the days that we prepare those meals, rather than like order a pizza or something, then I'll consider that preparing meals and getting 1 HP. But anyway, let's keep going. Okay, so there are the routines. So trials at the top, preparing meals, the second to the right. Bottom right is setting camp. Bottom left is reflecting, so journaling. And kind of the top left is the sleeping. And yeah, so let's keep going. The reflect activity is one of the most important of these activities. You're encouraged to use the line on each of your daily journal or your daily tracker pages to reflect on your journey, your challenges, any other insights that might occur to you. Great. Now that you have all of that under your belt, you can start gaining XP and HP, making yourself a more formidable hero, excuse me. Now you might be wondering, why do I need to be formidable? Why am I increasing my strength? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's move 1 square to your left, A2, and see what you find. So let me go to current entry and set destination, and let's go to the Glimmerwood map and go to A2. That was A1, so I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do a little arrow and just show my path. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do that. And then we can do the rectangle to show where we are today. So there is a little brown around that. So let's go back to current entry. Oh, it's your first trivial or encounter. So how do I know that? Maybe it's just telling me, I'm not sure. It appears to be a rather ugly goblin that seems unwilling to let you pass unscathed. Suppose it's time to teach you about combat. Every time you have an encounter that requires combat, you'll see something like this. Level 1, resolve 0. To initiate combat, begin by comparing your resolve to your foes. If your resolve is equal to or greater than your foes, you may proceed. If your resolve is less, then you must flee in terror, taking -4 HP. If you have adequate resolve, then you may proceed with each combat. Each combat encounter will have a table with levels across each axis. See the following page for an example. You compare your level to the challenger's level and find the intersection of the column and row. The top number indicates the roll you must surpass to defeat your challenger using a 20-sided dice, D20. In this case, you're both level 1. You must roll a 10 or above to defeat the goblin. The bottom number in parentheses, indicates how much damage you take each time you fail to supersede the required number. For example, let's see you first roll an 8. Since that doesn't beat a 10, you take -2 HP. Let's go back and look at this for a second. So see if you can read that, hopefully. So my level's 1, his level's 1. So there's my target level is 10, and then in parentheses, I take 2 damage for every time I don't pass it. Next, you roll a 12. Well done, you've beaten the goblin and can reap the reward. But now it's time to give it a go for real. Find A2 in the encounter section and battle the goblin. So I am going to, again, mark my destination here, and let's go to encounter, and let's find the goblin. Here's encounters. Actually, I just clicked on this, and there's the goblin garroter. So that's what we'll start with. You enter a fetid marsh. I still don't know how I figured out. Well, it's probably just part of the beginning adventure, but so we'll just keep going. You enter a fetid march, trees lit by small glowing insects buzzing with a low, unsettling hum. As you round a bend in the path, you find yourself facing a gnarled old goblin, face set in grim determination. It raises its fist in a choking motion, daring you to draw near. With deep water on either side, you realize the only way out is through. So again, I need to beat a 10, and 2 is what I will lose each time I don't roll a 2. So I'm going to roll this on screen. I'm using 3D dice, so 10 or above is what I'm hoping for. 18. So awesome, great start. Defeated it right away. So let's go back to the current entry. So well done, adventurer. I knew you had it in you. And you received the 3 XP, and you received 3 XP and 7 GP. Let me just go back and see if that's what it said. And I should have made a note of that. Let's go back to encounters. I don't see where it says. Oh, yeah, it's right here. I forgot. It's in the chest. Plus 3 XP, plus 7 GP. So let us go back to the current entry. Let's go to my character sheet. And maybe it's on the day sheet. Sorry, daily tracker. Okay, so this is my day. So gold, 7 gold pieces, and XP. Where is my XP again? Coordinates, encounter. Let's just go and see what that said again. Your level tracker by 3 XP and add 7 GP to your purse. Is it the Arcanum? No. Sorry, I should know this, but let's go back to my character sheet. Name, calling, class, items, modifiers, soul shards. I'm pretty sure it said it's on the tracker, I think. Routine, soul points, hit points, routines. Well, for now, I'm going to do this. I know it's not right, so bear with me. I'm going to do a form. And I'm going to do a text box here. And we're just going to make this. So we're going to make this a 3P. And I do know, I'm just trying to remember. It said somewhere, I don't want to go back and try to find it, but I will look at that later. But I know it did say somewhere. Yeah, I know it did say somewhere on how to track the XP, and I just don't remember offhand, so apologies. So let's go back to the day. All right. We did that, so we're down here. Make sure to increment your level tracker. But now that does bother me. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna go back to the home and search for level tracker. Around the border, the level tracker, the tick marks are on the border of each daily tracker sheet. Each time you gain XP, move the corresponding number of ticks to the right of your level tracker. All right, so let's go back. I knew it was on there. So it was 3 XP. So here are the tick marks. So I think you start up here. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. Let's do a little rectangle. And for now, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. So we'll do that to denote that I'm 3 on my XP, I think. And then there's my level 2. So excellent. Let's go back to current entry. All right. You won't always be so lucky. There may be instances where you don't complete an encounter either because you have to flee due to low resolve or because you simply don't get around to it that day. In those cases, draw a single line through the square on your map indicating that you have been there, but you have not completed the encounter. You may return to any encounters you haven't completed at later points in time. Additionally, as you move through Glimmerwood, you may acquire various items, such as a potion of healing or a longsword, which have positive, there's a little typo, effects. All items and their effects can be found in the items section at the back of the journal. Make sure to account for any items that and their impacts on your rolls before initiating combat, and track the various bonuses to attack rolls or damage reduction in your character sheet under the modifiers section. You may choose to use an item before or during combat to aid you in your striving. As you progress through the realm battling foes, you may find yourself out of HP at some point along your journey. In other words, you might die. If that should occur, you only need to turn to the Phoenix Rising page at the end of your daily tracker section. It will provide you with a couple of options for how to proceed. But don't worry about that yet, for that won't happen to you, brave warrior, will it? As Fern says these last words, his voice begins to fade and distort. Oh no, I'm afraid the darkness is starting to influence me. I can't maintain this connection for much longer. Just as it corrupted my fellow guardians, I fear it's now corrupting me. From now on, you'll have to continue on your own, piecing together all the information I've given you so far. Good luck, my critter. And you are alone, staring off into the distance, the realm laid out before you, ready to be explored, discovered, and liberated. That's it. So that's just the beginning. So that's just about an hour. So I love how it says, let me get rid of this. Let me presume you glazed over during parts of that previous section. I actually didn't. I enjoyed it. So this is a shorter summary if you just want to jump right in. Choose your character, set up your character, embark on your journey, start at the left corner, mark your position with an X, move to a new square each day, either horizontally or vertically. If you land on a square with a solid outline, check the corresponding. Oh, that's what it is. Gosh darn it. So the reason he knew it was a goblin is, let's just mark this as set destination. So what I would do is I would look at the encounter section, and this said A2. I was in A2. That's how he knew the goblin garroter is what I was fighting. Okay. All right. So daily activities. Each day consists of encounters, callings, routines. Track these in your daily tracker, which has areas to track encounters, callings, or routines. What I like about this is you can play this every day. And again, I think the whole point is to kind of encourage you to do these activities daily. So even if I'm playing this for 15, 20 minutes a day, or even less, it'll get you in the habit of for me, I don't do much journaling, so maybe it'll have me journal more. What do I do for the day, and how did I, how was my sleep? What did I cook for the day, or what have you? I think trial encounters, and you can do the encounters too. So yeah, my routines, I guess, is what that would be, and my encounters would be what I just went through. You land in an empty space, roll a d20, and you might have a random encounter. Callings: perform an activity related to your character's calling each day to increase your resolve by 1. You do not perform an activity relating to your resolve decreases. So, okay. All your arcanum. All right. That's awesome. That is the beginning of just roll with it. So I actually enjoyed that, and for me, I think it might help. I'm gonna try to start journaling this a bit, and maybe I'll show my progress a bit. Maybe not. I don't want to spoil anything more than I did, but at least that was just the very beginning. So I think that was the very start. I don't feel like I spoiled too much. Again, Kickstarter hasn't launched yet, but it will soon. And when it does, I'll try to update the description and put a link to the Kickstarter. I'm sure this is something I'll back because it looks pretty intriguing to me. So I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment, like and subscribe if you're interested in the channel, and I hope this is content that's interesting to you. Till next time, all. Thank you.